Alpha.
My name's Kai Price and I'm a photographer. I'm also a Sony Ambassador, European Imaging Ambassador, and I want to show you the ins and outs of one of my shoots, how to recreate an editorial shoot where we're shooting some live action pictures followed by a couple of portraits, and in that time frame, a short time frame of probably about 25 minutes. Let me introduce you to Jay Thompson. Jay's Team GB, we've got him on the horse today, and also over here we've got Reese Bexford, who's Team Jamaica, on the horse. So we're going to go through some action pictures with these guys on the pommel horse, and we're going to shoot tethered from the camera over to the laptop here in a program called Capture One. Shooting Sony, people obviously say, well, why are you shooting Sony in the studio? I'll show you why in a minute, because it's fast, massive file size and everything else, but we will go through all of that stuff. So I think with that we're going to get through it, because we've got 20 minutes, two different setups in 25 minutes, and I want to make this as real as what it would be if I turned up in a studio. Now, the reason that I've chose this location is with the roof and everything and the ceiling fans and everything is quite purposeful in the fact of that when you go onto location, most of the time you're not walking into a really nice polished studio. You're walking into a polished studio if it's on hire. If somebody has just phoned you up, booked you for a job, the chances are it's because you're shooting in an office, you're shooting on location somewhere. So you have to make the location the studio. So it kind of makes it ideal that you can see this low ceilings, polystyrene roofs and all that stuff. And what we're going to do is turn that around, and I'm going to show you the process on the camera. All right, so with that, let's just get into it. Hi everyone, just going to take you through the shoot setup of what we're doing here. So we've talked about, we got two athletes with us. We've got Reese Bexford from Team Jamaica. We've got Jay Thompson over here from TGB. And what we want to do is create a series of motion pictures. So what we need to do for that is dull the lights. This is pretty much just for my lights, so you can see me. We're going to shoot tethered onto this program here, which I use Capture One. Just seems to be the fastest tethering program that I can find. And we've got the camera set up here. Obviously, you know, for people that know, this is a video tripod, but we're going to use that because it's giving me a little bit more height than the tripod that I bought for the shoot today. So with that, we're going to go straight from this into the next part of that. And what's involved is killing all the light. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn this off in a second and take you through that. What I've done now is, okay, I'm in total darkness here, is I've, apart from the model light, we've got one broncolor light coming in, from here into set here. That's just to light the horse, but it's slightly feathered. I'll go through that with you guys in a minute. If we can get Jay up on, Jay's going to go up onto the horse now. Yeah. Am I allowed to call it a horse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a horse?
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason why, just on for the camera here, that if I don't kill all the light, you're going to get a well exposed image like this, which you don't want. For this, we don't want. So we're just going to try and create some motion. I'm going to shoot using a laptop for this as a way of doing it. Okay, Jay, over to you, bud.
Ready?
Yeah. Let's have a look how that's coming out. Okay, so prior to this, can we see this? Yeah, lovely. Okay, you can see that quite well, can't you? I'm just going to bring this actually over a little bit closer to the setup. So what I'm doing is I'm shooting on, I'm not shooting on high-speed sync, I'm shooting on continuous flashes. So I've set my flashes to go to 5 flashes, so that means that in a second it's going to flash 5 times. I set my shutter speed to around about a second, or just under, depending on the pace of the athlete. And what we're now looking for is we're looking for sharp exposed faces in the pictures. So as you can see here, I'm just coming in, so we can get nice and creative, because in a minute after we've done this shoot, we're going to then go and do a portrait. So the publication that say we're working for, or the time that we've got, we've done this one shoot, and then we're going to get a different look again through the portrait. So let's concentrate on this. Let's get this right. Let's get some nice images in. Okay. So can we kill that model light again? Okay, over to you. Over to you again, mate. So at the moment, just for the camera, sorry, I am on 8th of a second at F11. All right.
Ready?
Perfect. Yes. Okay. Let me go again, and I'm just going to go. Great. Thank you. So the importance of this is a few things here is making sure that your subject is not, that you're not just wearing them out unnecessarily, making sure that we're trying to get a crisp image of a face in here as well, which is what I'm after, so that you can identify Jay with the horse, and that'll be more prevalent when you see the portrait afterwards. And I think don't get the subject to go over and over and over again. One, because you'll kill it with boredom. Secondly, as well, because you're just going to knacker them out and they're not going to probably want to perform as much. So let's just have a look at this. Depending on our setup here, we can change the shutter speed. Jay, are you okay? Are you okay to go again?
Yeah.
Hold on, sorry, mate. So I'm going to do less on this one. Let's kill that model light. Great. After you, Jay. Brilliant, thank you, mate. So as we can see here, look, we've gone down to 4th of a second. So we're getting less multiple images of Jay. But what we are starting to do is starting to see clearer faces in the shots and etc. So now that we've got some great stuff of Jay so far to have a look at, what we're going to do, we're going to give him a rest. It's important to let people rest up, and we're going to bring Reese in. So brilliant, you come on in, Reese. Lovely. So what I'm going to do, obviously, what's different with this shoot is because we're shooting athletes in their environment, but there's no direction that I can give them as a photographer. There's no point me trying to give him any direction whatsoever to do. I just needed to let him do his stuff that he's going to do on the horse, and I'll just be there to capture that and just to like that. So, okay, over to you, bud.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to jump down. Okay, let's have a look. Nice. Okay, so really nice. I'd sort of lucked out there actually on the final image where Reese is jumping down, and actually where the flashes froze his face. It's quite nice because I see a lot more face. So actually we've lucked out there. We're going to try some different shutter speeds as well, just to get some different effects. I'm going to put it onto some slower shutter speeds, and also as well, you know, going back to what we was talking about, people say, why do you shoot Sony and stuff? Why do you shoot that in the studio? Why are you not on Hasselblad? Why are you not, you know, on obvious other formats? And the thing is, I'm shooting these images at something like 60 odd meg, and so they are coming through 60 odd meg, and I can shoot 10 frames a second. My lights can keep up, so everything's geared to being able to shoot fast, keep up with stuff. So it makes it very versatile. I don't have to think about what shoot I'm going on to. I'm going to use that camera today, I'm going to use that one, or I've got my motor drive's only going to give me 3 frames a second. So it is something that people ask, because they're always quite shocked. Hold on, you're in the studio and you're shooting Tethered all the time. You know, we understand for action, for sports, for different formats, but for portraits, you know. So, and the other thing is as well, I use a cable, always use a cable, tried to do it Wi-Fi, tried to use it through different programs, and the file sizes are just too big, you know, just do it on a cable and it comes through. You can see how fast they're coming through. If I shoot that Wi-Fi, I'm waiting for one image to another, and basically all I'm doing is I'm holding up my set in that way. So I quite like to be quite fast moving, quite fast paced. The other thing as well that I would like to say is that I would be using a speaker now. I'd be pumping this with music. So all this space, so we're talking to camera now just for demonstration purposes, we would be fast pumping now. There'd be lots of loud music going on. Everything would be flowing really fast so that we just get through our work, what we've got to do. Right, okay, over to you, Reese. So what we're going to do now, we're going to bring, I'm going to put a slower shutter speed on, and I'm just going to get more stuff. Okay, let's go. We're going to get more of you in this. Okay, ready when you are, bud. Nice. Okay, good. Right, okay, you'll see these images come up. And what you'll see is just by playing with the shutter speed, you can see how many times, how many pivots you want him in there. So if this, say for instance, this one here was on a lot smaller shutter speed, that was like on 1/8 of a second, we come out to here, and that's on 1.6, so almost double, but in that we get twice as much movement in the pictures. Okay, so coming on from this, let's have a look. Can we swap out a minute, and can we get the flared legs, Jay? So Jay's coming back in, we're going to put the flared legs up, slightly different look. And then I think what we're going to do after that, we're going to look at portraits. I mean, what a nice problem this is to have. Jay's just, as you can hear, Jay's just talking about post-lockdown body and how, maybe he can't do as much as normal. I mean, come on. I feel very envious. Right, okay, let's go. So you're going to do 3 spins before I'm going to fire, right?
Yep.
So on the 3rd spin is when I'm going to start firing?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you alright?
Yep. First one out of the way. Alright. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a bit of a shoddy one, that. Will it make a difference if I do it? I can do it a lot better here.
Yeah, do
So
whatever you want. So
I'll be like that.
yeah,
Is that
brilliant.
right?
No, it's great. It's all good.
I'll get warmed up with that. And
So
then
what we're going to do here, we're just going to work. We're going to work with the athletes. We're going to just listen to them and what works better for them. And his poor lockdown body.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
I'll go straight into flares with this one. I don't need to circle.
Okay, go when you're ready. Oh, you right?
Yeah.
Now I've got you on a very slow shutter speed, so because you're going faster, I'm going to change that shutter speed.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That feels better. Okay. So we are just going to... Over to you, bud, when you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're already getting loads in here. Hold on. So now it's just finding the right images. That looks quite over to the left, doesn't it? So I would probably need to move my camera. Okay, so you can see the effects we're creating. We're creating different effects. Now what I want to do is move into and have a look at some portrait modes. So I would be happy going through some of these images, which we're going to look at after. But I have enough what I need for that shoot. And if I've got their coaches and stuff like that saying, hurry up, you know what I mean, or whatever, but you need to be able to cope in these stressful situations, to be able to work to brief. So, when PRs and marketing guys and stuff like that are saying you've got 20 minutes, you literally got 20 minutes. So you need to make sure you sign off. So I know that I've got one part of the shoot done now, right? Yes, I could mess about and spend longer doing this stuff, but I'm also quite confident that I know that I've got what I need from this bit. So now moving on to the portraits, we're going to come over. So, I mean, like, even when you see this on camera already now, you can almost see, well, from me, obviously because of the ISO and stuff being slightly different, but that shot is going to work really well there. So I'm going to go for a couple of 2 shots. I'm going to just change out a lens. Right, so for this, guys, I'm going to come off this. Tripod thing. So I don't like tripods. They hold me up. Do you know what I mean? But like in certain situations like this, I couldn't have done without the tripod. So they work well for certain situations. There's a lot of people that are in the studio. They absolutely love. I think so. There's a lot of people that when they're shooting in the studio absolutely wouldn't shoot any other way other than on a tripod. For me, I like to be able to move around and everything else. So, okay. Right, so obviously I've got to change a bit of lighting setup. I'm on a 1 I've got to change my exposure because that's not going to work, and I've got to change the lighting system. Hold on one sec. Okay, so what we're doing here, we have done our action shots. We're going in to do some portrait shots. I'm just giving my assistant a bit of hand as well, just to speed things up. Bearing in mind we're talking about having 20-25 minutes to do 2 athletes and to do a portrait shoot of it, which isn't a lot of time. So we're setting the second light up, and I'll go into that in a minute. I'm setting that up because I want to have a bit of backlight coming in as well, and there's an effect that I'll show you why. Right, so I'm going to have a little backlight coming in here. So we're going to look for different things for the picture to make the picture stand out a little bit more. So we're going to get Jay to use some chalk in a minute. Cam, can you just, that bottom light there that's 6-3, that's the backlight, just turn it where, yeah, just turn it, middle bit. There you go, for a second. So, we're still on the same, pretty much the same setup. We've got the power going over here. I've changed my lens to a 135 just so I can stand back. It's also quite messy over there. There's a lot of chalk that's been going on, stuff that I don't necessarily want near the camera. And because of these times now as well, but because of social distancing and people worrying about being in environments that you're in close to, actually shooting on something slightly longer than what you're used to shooting on is quite a good idea. So we're going to go into here. I'm just going to have a look at Jay and just see what... Okay, so we've got some quite standard stuff here. I just want to see, so I can always... So my light there is already a bit too overexposed. Cam, the one you can see, can you come down to 5.2? So we're just bringing our settings down, like rather than changing our aperture, we're just coming down the settings on the light. We're just going to have a look into that. Okay, much nicer lighting coming through here. Great. And then what I'm thinking of here, as you see the backdrop here, I think that's slightly too light, too sort of peppery. Just, Cam, just move the light a minute. Just, we're going to feather this. So come round. And you see the light, just, no, not that far, not go back, just up. So you can see the background change. Cam, can you just do that one more time? Sorry, push it around towards the backdrop. So you can see with the model light, you can see that white effect in the background. And as he turns the light, keep turning, see, stop, lovely. Okay, you can see that drop down. So model lights are really good for when we use this. You can just have a look here. That's it, Jay. Okay, so. So we're now looking at different bits here. Jay, can you do, where's your smoke? Not your smoke, your chalk. So we're going to look just to make that slightly different effect. We're going to throw a backlight in a minute. And this is what I would do just to give an option. So that when the images go on the page, if they've got an option. So Cam, where's that shining from that back? Can I just do one shot here just before you touch your hands? Don't do anything to your hands yet. I just want to check that backlight on you. That fine, that backlight, okay. Let's try that. Okay, puff that smoke up in front of you now. Just clap your hands together. Okay, so we're getting nice images now of Jay here. We're just trying the chalk to see what sort of effect we can get on that. For me, the images are nice, but they're a little bit dry. So we're going to just do something slightly different now. And Jay, if you can just jump up onto, just so your knees are up on top there. That's it. Good. Coming back. So you can see there now. You can see the ring light around Jay, and that light is being covered. So let's just have a look at that a minute. I'm going to do one shot like this. Okay. Wait for it to pop through. There you go. So we can see an image like this now on the back. Now what I want you to do, Jay, have you got enough chalk? Yeah? Okay, so let me just make sure I'm on Great, Jay. And so on 3, just bring your hands, clap your hands together. 1, 2, 3. Good. Oh look, there you go. That's the effect now, isn't it? Okay. And what we'll see in a second, when they go into focus. So you've got a nice strong portrait. We've got some quite straighter ones down where he's just resting on the side here. Let's take this in. Let me bring Reese in as well. And just before you go, Jay, because what I'm going to do, the very last shot, I want one of the two of you guys together. So let's arrange you on the horse, see what's the best position. So before, Jay, you come to the side here, right on the edge there, that's it. Reese, you come over closer, there, that's it there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this in a minute. How you feeling, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Let's have a look at lighting in a second. Make sure we're all right. Is that light, how's that light to you guys? Are you looking right into that light?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. That should work out then. So I'm just going to come back slightly. There we go. Okay, so now we've got one of the two boys together. Let's have Reese on his own, please. So Jay, thank you, mate. Really, really good. Reese, let's have a look. What are we going to do? I want something slightly different with you on here. Can you do a handstand where you're... Is it possible to do a handstand where you're facing me?
Yep.
You'll see your face is facing me?
Yep.
Let's give that a while. I know I've got a backlight in the thing. Cam, get ready on that backlight a minute, because if that doesn't hit the right place, it's going to be wrong. Okay. Yep. And then, can you look to me? Oh no, I'm too much. No. Okay, fine. Thank you, mate. Really impressive. I'm totally in the wrong place. Do that pose there now, you are, but turn the other way so you're facing me doing something like that. What I'm looking for is a different pose between you and Jay. There you go. Let's have a look. Cam, can you pass me that 55? It's the middle one over there. Watch that one, doesn't roll up. Yeah. Cool. Lovely, thank you, mate. So, that is our last image, that's not really going to cut it. And so I'm just making sure that Reese is hiding behind, that the light is hiding behind Reese here. There we go. So I'm pretty happy with this. Let's just come in there again, mate. Nice. Okay. So, and then just lastly, let's get that smoke. Let's just get a bit of something. Yeah, let's try you clapping. It might be that I need to get somebody just to do it from behind, and then we've got a couple of strong portraits going on there. We've got our stuff. We've got the action images going on. Let's just have a look. Go for it, bud.
Am I just standing? Or?
No, I think go back up into that position.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I almost need. Right, so I'm just going to get a little bit of height here. Just going to come up on here. Get that in. Okay, go. There you go. And just to get a more dramatic portrait, if that's not covering too much of your face. So that's obviously always a worry as well, but it can. Just go again. That's it. I'm going to go to wait for that to clear. There you go. Come for a sec. There you go. So I think there we see a different, we've got a slightly different stance there going on. Got a nice portrait here of Reese. And don't be shy. I mean, people people get nervous about shooting tethered and stuff like that, and they say, you know, were you happy to show the clients, not the clients, are you happy to show the person you're shooting? And I'm always happy to show. I think the thing is, when you're shooting somebody that's not used to being photographed, there is a tendency that they're a bit narcissistic and they're like, oh, I don't like myself in pictures and stuff like that. So you have to use your savvy really, and when you think that works. But look, there's an image there of just what we. Actually, it's quite nice just there. Look, so I can see that. So in my mind, I finished my shoot. I can see that's a nice pose there of Reese. So I'm just gonna take that as well. And then, Reese, can you bring your leg up? This leg here. Yeah, but sit in that position. Can you put it? Let's have a look. Right, okay.
Sorry?
More spin around the other way.
This way?
Yeah, so there you go. Just bring your leg up slightly. Is there any way? Can you tuck it under or anything?
Like that? What do you
No,
mean?
your leg hanging down.
Like that?
No, can you put it up onto the board?
Like this?
Onto the horse, yeah. Is that where it's, yeah, there you go. That's it. Lovely. Great. So there you go. Like, so there's your shoot. There's your 20 minutes, and I think we've got everything we need. So thanks guys for joining. I'm Kai Price. Go and check out for more content. Go and have a look at my website kaiprice.com, and I'm going to hand over to these boys here who's going to tell you their social handles as well.
So mine's Reese Beckford on Instagram and Twitter.
Mine's just Jay Thompson on Instagram and Twitter as well.
And once again, thanks for joining.